Today we're taking a look at a watch that came into my collection as part of a trade. It's one that I've had my eye on for a while, but I never really came around to pulling the trigger on it. So today we're taking a look at the Bulova Surfboard. We'll do a normal unboxing. There's really not much to this, just an outer box, inner box. Inner box is pretty standard, so here it is, the surfboard. The standard instructions and warranty card, so we'll put that aside, and here it is. Let's take this off the pillow. Here it is. So obviously this one attracted me because of the vintage style design while still keeping some pretty nice tool watch dimensions and specifications. We'll talk about that. So the surfboard is obviously a chronograph. It is running. Reset. It's also a dive watch. So the dimension on this is the diameter is 40.5 millimeters, and I think that wears to size. Because of the short lugs, it'll wear the full 40.5 millimeters. The strap, the lug width here is 20 millimeters, and this comes on a nice tropic strap with the clasp, which I don't normally see, so I do appreciate that. Thickness, we're talking about 14.5 millimeters, but a lot of that is the high crystal, which really does go a long way in the vintage design feel. Each marker is lumed. The hands are lumed. The water resistance on this one is 200 meters, which is interesting to me because it does have a screw down crown. There it is, and now you screw it down. But to me, it seems a little odd to have a screw down crown but not screw down pushers. So as far as I understand, this would maintain the water resistance underwater as long as you don't engage the pushers. Because again, as I understand, the pushers, engaging them underwater would kind of negate all of that water resistance. So if you look at the dial while the light hits it on like this, you get a kind of purplish tint to it, which is kind of cool. It's kind of interesting, and it's kind of unique too. It's not your standard blue like the strap. You see the difference between the two just by looking at this image here. Obviously this is called the surfboard because of the inner circle there. It looks like a surfboard, and it being a dive watch. The bezel here does move both directions, and it does not click, and the pip is loomed here. We'll take a look at it right now. So beyond that, there's really not much to this. It's a cool little watch, the cool design, retro design, and we'll see how the Lume holds up to other watches. I brought out some other dive watches here. I do believe this sells through the gray market at approximately $300, maybe a little less, a little more. But I wanted to give this a shot just because there are a lot of different variants, and I found the Pepsi one to be a little safe. There's other ones that are brighter colors, so I'll see how this one wears. I'll see how the strap holds up. The strap is a little bit stiff, but that's kind of normal for tropic straps. It should loosen up a little bit. So actually first let's start with some size comparisons. Here it is next to the Samurai, and right away you can see the Samurai is enormous compared to the surfboard, and that's kind of to be expected. The Samurai is the big watch. Thickness. And I brought out the Q here just because it is a smaller and similarly styled, vintage styled watch. And you can see they do wear a little bit similar. They look a little bit similar, while the Timex is, I believe it's 39 millimeters. But again, the case makes it look a little bit bigger. And I do believe the Timex will be significantly thinner. Well, yep, there it is. So let's check out the lume of these three watches and see how the Bulova holds up. Here it is one more time. Strap, standard tag, clasp. Let's see how the Lume holds up on this. Here it is. Each indice is lumed. Like I said, the pip here is pretty bright. Well, you can't really see it here just because we're not in complete darkness. The hands are lumed. There it is. And honestly, this is a pretty nice Lume. I don't have too much experience with Bulova Lume besides the Lunar Pilot, which is actually quite weak. But this is actually surprisingly nice for a watch that isn't Seiko, which is usually the best Lume. It's a nice strength here. Let's see how it compares to some other ones here, like the Samurai. And like I said, yeah, Seiko is absolutely king of Lume, and the Seiko does blow the Bulova out of the water here. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Similar strength in Lume, though it is worth noting that the Timex is close to half the price. So the Bulova's Lume is not the strongest, it's not the most impressive. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a very strong lumed watch. One more time, let's see the Lume. You guys also do know we're not in complete darkness here. It's actually quite a bit of light. But I like doing that to really show, because I think in complete darkness everything looks really bright. But here you do see the differences in magnitude of Lume between the watches. So let's go ahead and throw this on the wrist and see how that wears. On the wrist, it does wear close to its size, I would say. It's substantial, but not unwearable. It's a little bit thick. It wears flat on the wrist, which I personally like because I have a flat wrist. But overall, it wears large, but not too large. It's actually a pretty nice size for a tool watch, pretty nice size for a dive watch. And we'll see how this one sticks around in my collection. I'll wear it for a while and see what my opinions are on it. But so far, my initial impressions are actually quite good.